It is the RIOT on RadioU.
We're getting closer. We have a show today. There is no show tomorrow. But then coming on Monday, well, we'll have a show on Wednesday. That's our Christmas Eve show.
Yes.
Don't want to forget about that. But then coming next week, we've got some of our worst of favorite bits of 2020. So that'll start on Monday's podcast.
Things you'll hear about today. We talk about gift cards. We talk about stimulus checks and stimulus bills. Let's see, our Christmas show, Ready Player 2, throwing a rave in the bathroom, COVID and how it's affected cookies, boring glasses talk with Obadiah.
Oh, it's a new segment that we'll only host at the beginning or the end of a year.
It's very true. The hot dog vendor and the kidney.
Oh, that's a nice story.
Festivus.
Yeah.
The Apple car.
That's it.
All right. So you guys enjoy the podcast.
Yep. Don't forget to say hello. And then that way, while we are on our Christmas podcast break coming soon, you can stay in touch with us through RadioU Riot on our Facebook page. Anytime you want to message us, we're always there.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy the podcast. Thanks for hanging.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
The Riot isn't all bad, but this is the worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Hello, Nikki.
Hello, Obi. Are we ready for a list?
I'm ready for some Christmas joy. It's actually not a list.
Oh, okay.
And but I still want to run it by you, even though I already know what you're going to say. Now, this was a survey that was done in the UK, and they essentially asked people, would you rather have a present or would you rather have a gift card?
I think we all know the answer for me.
And I will tell you that roughly 60% of people said they would rather have a gift card.
Oh, good. Well, I'm in good company then.
You
I
are.
just feel like I don't even want the person to have the pressure. It's, it's hard enough. We tend to buy things during the year, so I don't necessarily wait for the Christmas season and have like a list of items I would want. So I feel like it's hard for someone to just shop and find an actual physical gift where the gift card is just as good, because then when something does come up, I'm ready.
Yeah. You know what though? Like, I still like a gift. What I've started to realize is that I like crap. And
you like physical items.
I do. I like stuff. And I have to be careful because one of these days I'm going to be like great grandpa that dies and they have to basically burn his house down because he got too much crap in it.
No, they'll try to sell your Blu-ray collection and your 4K, but there'll be a lot there.
I'm not allowed to buy toys anymore. I've had to put all these barriers up, but I do like getting stuff.
Well, what else is there though?
You know what? Right now I'm looking at, but see, this is a gift card. I've got $25 left of a gift card, and I'm trying to buy the Flash Gordon 40th anniversary poster because it would be awesome in my basement.
So would you say you are a part of the 60% who also would prefer, like, deep down a gift card?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. Better that than, figuring out a gift.
Probably. Yeah. It's not,
I think it's more than 60. I think that the other just don't want to, they feel it's maybe rude. So they're not saying anything yet, but they'll come over to the gift card side.
Yeah. I've hit this point with my mom now where she was like, hey, I want to get you something for Christmas. Here's my credit card. Order it, send it to my house. I'll wrap it up and bring it over.
Well, at least she wants to wrap it up. I mean, she could just have you send it to yourself.
You know what? I appreciate the effort that's going into that.
What's worse than the worst of the Riot? The worst of the Riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. Radio U.
I don't want to get your hopes up, but Nikki and I have seen rumors flying that they could start sending out stimulus checks next week.
That's what they were saying. Who knows?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to see those checks get spent irresponsibly.
That's what's telling Obi, like, you could, if you were back in January and I feel like day to day, like back at doing your job or classes or something, you might be able to save it. But if it's on Christmas and New Year's break, like, I see that being spent rather fast.
They're like giving you money and you're just like, I couldn't.
Christmas present, and it's not that. I mean, yes, for some, you can easily go and spend it, but for others, it might be too tempting when there's, other things you should be doing with it.
My uncle sent me, this check, Sam, and I would just feel bad if I didn't get out there.
It's like, I just got to spend it somehow.
And do something with it.
I don't know when it actually would, but I thought it was going to be later in January, and then I was surprised when they started saying, well, maybe even as early as next week that you could be seeing them in your accounts.
Wow. So what do you... I mean, let's say it comes next week and responsible Nikki's not here to answer the door.
I know. I think I am going to try my best to save it.
For...
Another day, and it's not going to be the next day. You're like, I saved it one day. No, I think I do want to try to save it.
I'm just going to keep sending you pictures of, what is that, the Nintendo Switch Lite? You're like, Nikki.
You could go buy this. Man, that would take a good chunk out of it. No, it's not that much.
$600 is a lot.
It is, but
Why don't you take Eric's?
Why don't I take his? Well, that would be, put it in the family. The family pot.
Put it in the pot. It's a good call, Nikki.
I don't know. But if it does come out earlier next week, it'll be harder to be responsible with it compared to later in January.
You think? I wonder, and I'm completely serious because I've read different things, like whether you're supposed to spend it, whether you use it for literally day-to-day needs, like, hey, I'm going to pay rent with this, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. Like, what do you do with it?
I've read some responses on both sides of it. They say that if you really needed it for day-to-day things, that you might feel the $600 is not enough. So the question is,
a lot of people are frustrated with the amount.
Would you put the $600 towards what you needed to pay off, or would you think it's not enough to cover it? Why bother? And then go use it on something else just because it's tough times. And there is something to spending it on something that might make things a little happier.
Man, I'm not going to tell you how to live, but Nikki and I are going to talk to you about some of the other things that are in the stimulus bill right now.
Oh, there's a bunch of other stuff. That's why it's taken a while, because it's not just the stimulus that you see. They always stuff a bunch of other things in there, and some of it you wonder why.
There's
some stuff
things
in there. Did you see the streaming thing?
Oh,
we have to talk about that later.
Yeah, come on.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Oh, man.
What'd you find?
Well, you know what? It's just one of those things, and I realize after talking about irresponsible government spending, this is not the best segue. I get that.
Well, the rest of the show might not be the best thing. We tend to focus on that.
But I am seeing here that basically everything is on sale now.
Yeah.
And by everything, I mean all the digital stuff. So it's like PlayStation's having a digital sale. Xbox is having a digital sale. iTunes is having their digital sale. I haven't looked at Amazon yet, but I mean, it's like anything and everything you can think of.
I think we're just saying at this point, you don't have to wait till I wonder if the day before or on Christmas Day, I'll get a better price. Like, they haven't really done that this season. They've just kind of had everything out there for sale.
That's actually why I bought the Amazon Fire thing before Christmas, because I thought, oh, what if after Christmas they'll be like, well, everybody has their gift cards, so we'll just crank the price back up. So I went ahead and got it yesterday. And I also set a dollar amount for being allowed to buy movies.
Yeah. Is there any left you still want? Because normally he buys some on like Thanksgiving weekend and stuff.
These would not be, what do you call it?
Physical purchases?
Why can't, where are my words? Do you know where they went? Can I get them back?
They'll be back in January.
They wouldn't be physical. They would be digital purchases. And I have a tendency to be a little more lax on those, where basically if it's not $5, I don't want it. And so there's a couple things that I think I'm going to pick up. Even some of them, I'm basically renting it because it's like, I know I want to watch it.
Sure.
I don't know that I'll watch it more than once, but I want to see it.
But the price is about the same.
Yeah. Best Picture winner, Unforgiven.
Oh, you're going to do that?
You know what? There's a line in that movie. I have no idea why, but I think about it all the time, where it's about these bounty hunters, and this young bounty hunter kills somebody, and he's just like, well, they had it coming. And Clint Eastwood just looks at him and says, we all got it coming, kid.
That's what's getting you to buy it? That line?
I just need to see that.
You just need to have that. Okay.
I mean, smart play would be to just watch it on YouTube.
Well, I mean, that'll do the trick, but usually you like to have it.
I think about that all the time. We all got it coming, kid. That's my world.
You're like, what's going through Obi's head right now?
We all got it coming, kid.
That's what's going through his head.
That's what I'm thinking about. I thought about maybe grabbing that last Terminator. I wanted to see that again.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I did.
Are we sure we want to share the rest of the list?
We can stop.
We're supporting.
We can
so
stop
maybe we
there
should.
If you want. You just want to stop now?
What else is there? We're supporting.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't. Maybe there isn't anything else. Maybe that's it. That's 2 movies. That's the end of it.
Is that plenty?
I never did. Did you ever see The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? I wanted to see that. Never saw it.
No, I didn't think that. I thought that one wasn't very well received.
I know, but it's Guy Ritchie.
That doesn't mean that's not. It's not the reason to. How much is it? That's not the reason to buy it.
$5.
Yeah, that might be too much. Maybe that'll go down a little bit. Why don't you look at that one next Christmas? Maybe it'll be even less. Guy Ritchie stuff can be good, but then he can also have some stuff that's not as good.
That's true.
And they, I believe, say that one was the not as good category.
Well, that's too bad. Well, like I said, it's out there. If you got gift cards to burn or whatever, digital sales for days.
Well, if you find something and you think Obi might like it or myself, feel free to pass along what you're going to get this Christmas.
Yeah, I will enjoy. I mean, you guys know, I'm not proud of it, but I'm done being ashamed of it. I'm going to scroll through pages of movies for days.
Even if you don't buy any more, the act of scrolling through all that you love enough.
I do. I wish I didn't. I just do. It just is what it is.
People win awards for being the best at things. Are there awards for the worst? Because we have a contender. Worst of the Riot podcast.
I want to say hi to Tim. Tim managed to get for himself an Xbox Series X from Target.
Hey, good for him.
So congratulations to you, Tim. He made it happen. It seems
in time for Christmas, right?
Seems that he may have also gotten a little something from the Ohio State Highway Patrol as well.
That's nice.
So I'm guessing that's not a warning.
No, seems like is the gift.
So he said he got it at Target. He had to drive an hour away to get it, but it's great, and Cyberpunk looks amazing.
Good for him.
So congratulations to you, Tim. Also want to say hi to Izzy. Izzy says, I'm late on watching the ugly Christmas sweater party, but the look on both Obadiah and Nikki's faces during presents, Obi for the win.
Obi did amazing with the Christmas gift this year. So if you missed our gift exchange, we did some holiday taste testing and Christmas movie trivia. You can watch our ugly Christmas sweater party from last Thursday. That was a special evening show that we did that you can watch at RadioU on Facebook or our RadioU Riot page.
I'll tell you who is honestly he's not billboarded. His name is not on the byline, whatever, but the real star of the Christmas show is Chris.
Chris put in so much work with our Christmas trivia. It was so wonderful. And I think he had fun doing that.
I think
he
needed
too. Some fun. So I think that
he
was
did
good.
Too. And he did. He basically, they got the questions together and he shot video with
Hudson
and Sydney, and it's great.
It reminds me of it would be on Jeopardy when there was, I think it feels like to me when there'd be a celebrity and it's the person off site who would read the question.
Right.
So it totally feels like that with Hudson and Sydney.
I loved it.
So it's worth watching. If you've not seen our ugly Christmas sweater party, take some time this week and enjoy it.
Yes.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
I got another text here from Josh that I feel like is worth chatting about. Nikki and I are going to be off starting on...
I won't be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we'll reconvene on Thursday for our Christmas Eve show, and then we're off through the end of January.
We are. So Friday, we're out for Christmas, and we won't be back till January 4th. Mm-hmm. Next week, you'll get Worst of the Riot 2020, which Nikki and I have been working to put that together, and Hudson and Sydney. It takes a village.
It takes a team. It's a team effort.
To get it all together. But that'll be coming at you if you subscribe to the podcast Monday through Thursday next week. Mm-hmm. So in the middle of all of that, I was thinking about finding a good book to read next week. And you know what? I've looked at a couple of different things. I have a couple things on my Kindle that I keep telling myself I'll read, but that means I won't.
Well, you won't. It seems like you're looking for something fun.
And so I almost last night, remember, Nikki got me an Amazon gift card.
So there's gift card to burn.
So last night I almost bought Ready Player 2, which it's still kind of expensive on Kindle, but I was like, it's Christmas.
Did that come out at Thanksgiving or was it even earlier than that?
I believe it was the week of Thanksgiving.
The week of Thanksgiving.
Like the Monday or Tuesday before.
We had asked back then what everybody's thoughts were when they read it so we can decide if we want to read it.
Well, reviews were bad, and I went on a big tirade about how critics don't like it, but maybe you and I, the rank and file idiots of the world, would enjoy it.
Really liked Ready Player One.
I did like Ready Player One.
The book was amazing. Then his second book was not so good, and people have never liked this guy, the author. because he was like self-published, and they just tend to really dump on his stuff. So you couldn't tell if they were dumping just because of some of that, or was it that bad? So for Ready Player 2, we were kind of really curious if people liked it.
So Josh told me he was going to read it, and I appreciate the follow-up. You know, it's one thing to say, I'm going to get back to you, but when somebody does, that's miraculous.
So what's his review of it? Did you like it?
Josh says the following: Good morning and Merry Christmas.
Aw, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So I never got back to you with my review of Ready Player 2. If you really are a fan of the first book, you'll do yourself a favor by not reading this one.
Oh, it's not good?
It is truly awful.
Oh boy, that's a harsh statement right there.
The entire first half of the book was pointless. The magic of the first one was near non-existent in the sequel. I found myself getting mad listening to it.
So
he did a book on
audio. Well, maybe it'd be better. Maybe if you just read the end and... Well, there's something to just read the beginning and the end and skip the middle. That's usually the part that makes everybody mad.
I'm glad I found something else to bring happiness in this merry season in the season 2 finale of Mandalorian.
That made it okay.
I'll tell you what, that season finale made a lot of things okay.
Yeah, that was fine. Like, hey, it's been a really bad year, but the ending was okay.
I'm not
Suddenly
saying
it's not so bad.
I'm not saying the year was worth that, but it was pretty great.
Well, Josh, thanks for texting for Ready Player 2. That might be enough to...
Oh, no, I'm out.
You're out. You're not going to bother?
It's enough. Like, I really did almost get it to read, but, like, I feel like Josh is... I don't know why. I just feel like I can trust him.
You can trust his review?
I feel like I can trust him. Yeah, and I'm just going to go ahead and skip that one this time.
So what Obi's saying is, instead of Ready Player 2, he would like a book suggestion for something else.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to do it anymore.
No.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
What do you think about a bathroom rave?
Is that where you have a party in the bathroom?
Oh, yeah.
Is that Party Source Rex?
Not a euphemism, Nikki.
I didn't know that was something. And we're so desperate to have a party. If you can't go out and have one, you'll have one at home.
This story is so good, okay? His name's Kale. He lives in the UK. Mm-hmm. He's 12. So he got this idea. He's like, I'm going to throw a rave in the bathroom at school. And so...
Oh, there's the difference. So is that school?
Check this out. He used Snapchat to spread the word that he was having a rave. And I don't even know what time he did it or whatever, but he was like, hey, everybody meet at this time, boys' bathroom. And it was at night. It wasn't during the day.
It keeps changing now. I mean, it's different. So it's at school, but out of school hours.
Yeah, it was. And like everybody show up. Well, he does this. A bunch of 8th graders show up for this rave, and they make it for about 30 minutes.
And then it got shut down.
Before it gets shut down. This guy had all his own equipment. He had lights, fog machines.
He's passionate about it.
He's got like music and stuff. He had a fully functional bathroom rave for 8th graders at school.
So the real big issue in the UK is they're having various levels of lockdown. So I think when this happened, they were probably still at level 2, but now they're at level 4. And so you're not supposed to have anything in any venue. And I guess the bathroom or a school counts as that. And that's why he was especially in trouble, because you're not supposed to be there doing it.
Here's what I love. His parents thought it was funny. He did not get...
Now,
I mean, he may get in trouble at school, but like at home, not in trouble.
It was actually during lunchtime, so it was during...
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
I thought it was at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, it wasn't. It was during lunchtime, they said.
All right, well then,
I mean, way to organize, too. I feel like a party planner coming later.
Yeah. A lot of
what do you want to be?
A lot of people are criticizing him for virus, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know. It's pretty funny.
Well, I mean, on one side, though, he was already at school, wasn't he? Or did they just have it at school, or were they already in classes?
Well, see, Nikki, I've read 3 stories about this.
They're all different.
And what I feel like is we're getting slightly different takes on this, because I thought it was in the afternoon after school. You're saying it was at lunchtime. Were they in classes at all? I don't know.
Because if they were already in classes, they're already around each other. So there's not like it's spreading more there, but... you're just not supposed to. So there's an illegal rave scene that is growing, kind of like there are big weekend like rave parties that are popular, say like in Los Angeles, where you'll have a location that just develops and you're not supposed to, but people are still doing it.
Well, that's the rave scene grew out of the idea of you don't know where it is. It was supposed to be this underground, like whatever thing. And then like everything else, the world is run by the man, and the man buys it, and the man capitalizes on it.
So whether you're having a fancy illegal rave in the hills or a toilet party in the UK at a school.
So he got his equipment confiscated, and his parents felt like that was punishment enough.
He's got some supportive parents.
I love it.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
So we're headed into Christmas, the holidays. I know Christmas is going to be different this year, but one of the things that Christmas does is that it often forces us to interact with people that we have managed to avoid all year. And now all of a sudden we have to interact with them again. Now, of course, there's lots of movies in which this is funny and whatever, but I mean, let's just be honest. There are people in your family that may have abused you. The rest of the family doesn't know about it. You haven't told anybody, but there you are having to stare down that person at Christmas dinner or across presents or like whatever it is. I'm not just saying this, like, I don't want to tell you how to handle it because I don't know. I think everybody's situation is different and the way you need to handle it is different. But I want you to know, one, I see you. I know that that's a thing. I know that the holidays aren't great for everybody. I've got another friend that's had, death after death in his family this year. Like, he's going into the holidays, not really great, quite honestly. And I get that. I've already had some, I'm just going to characterize them as uncomfortable conversations with people headed into the holidays. Here is how I'm handling it. One, the temptation is to mishandle it. I felt the siren's call of doing some things where I'm just like, yeah. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. It's like, shut up. Don't tell me what to do. I'll do this.
It's very tempting, but
it is. It's tempting. Temptation's called that for a reason. But you know what? God wants to help us. And again, in your situation, I don't have the answer, but I do know this. Jesus says that if we don't know what to do in a situation, that if we ask him, he gives us what we need without finding fault. And what that means is that, okay, maybe you have mishandled the situation. Maybe you have some fault here. Maybe some of it is your fault. Maybe it's not. I'm not saying either way, but you might feel like, hey, I can't go to God with this because my hands aren't completely clean in this situation. You know what? You can. God is going to give you wisdom about how to handle it without finding fault. So he loves you so much that even if you haven't had a perfect record, he still wants to get involved and help you. Even if you are 100% the victim and you're just ashamed, because being victimized is weird like that. You have nothing to be ashamed of, and yet you feel shame. I hate that about human psychology, but it's real. You know what? God wants to help you no matter what. So I don't have all the answers this morning, but I do have what I feel like is the answer with a capital A, where God can get involved and help you. Just say, Jesus, I need that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. You know what? I need healed, and I also need help dealing with blank this Christmas. You take as much time as you need to and fill in that blank.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
And when it comes to Christmas cookie consumption, currently in the negative.
Really? You haven't had any? Or
it's not that I haven't had any. It's just that I have not yet had enough to be what I would call in the green.
And what about Christmas cake? Because we've had some of that, or Christmas goodies, not just cookies.
There is still our Christmas cake in there, and I woke up saying, don't eat that. And then the longer I've thought about it, I was like,
you need another piece.
Maybe just like a couple of bites.
Well, forget that. We did our ugly Christmas sweater party on Thursday night, and we had these chocolate peanut butter pie Oreos. Now those,
they're in there.
That's worth it this Christmas. Those are good to have.
One of the things I was looking forward to, I'm not even making this up, is one of my neighbors, like, she bakes cookies for like a week.
Yeah.
And puts together these big, like, cookie
trays
plates that she hands out. And I talked to her yesterday, and she was like, yeah, because of COVID, we're not doing cookies.
Oh, she's not doing that?
And I was just like,
Well, does she already have COVID?
I just
she still can.
Be like, hey, I've had COVID.
Well, it's the other way.
I'm not scared of getting it.
Did you tell her that?
No. You don't want to make her feel bad.
Well, I mean, but she might not realize that she can't hurt you with her cookies.
I mean, you can't hurt me with COVID, but right now you're hurting me with your words.
Oh, look at that. Everything's postponed or canceled. Everything.
You're hurting me with your words. So I've got no choice, but am I going to do that tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going into the kitchen, Nikki, because the kid gloves are coming off.
You should do it. You should film it, make it a Facebook Live event, and Obadiah bakes.
The great
Christmas
Obadiah
cookie.
baking show?
Yeah, Christmas cookie edition.
I should.
That'd be fun to watch.
Oh, man. I'm totally baking cookies tomorrow. It's got to happen tomorrow.
Well, if you haven't had enough, then yeah, you need to.
Well, you got to step in. And I'll tell you, okay, I got to say this too. I got to make a public statement so I can be held accountable later. As much as I've thought about making a double batch, we got to go single batch on this.
Just making one set of cookies?
Yeah, because I gained my Christmas weight back in August. So,
Well, he got into the Christmas spirit early.
Yes.
So you don't want any more than that.
Gotta hang off on that, friends.
Well, are you going to cut it off then after Christmas? So, say it's Saturday, Christmas is over.
No, because...
What if the Christmas cookies are still around?
You know what? Also, because COVID, normally my family celebrates Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We're celebrating Christmas, and what do you call the day after Christmas? Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
We're celebrating Boxing Day night. That's how we're going to celebrate Christmas this year. So
the Christmas cookies can still be around then.
They at least got to stretch till then. Then the next day is Sunday. So you're still
you can't stop on a Sunday.
You're still on the weekend.
So we're looking at next Monday. We'll end the Christmas cookies by.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you should wait till the 4th because then that's after New Year's because you could have New Year's Eve cookies too.
I'm taking Monday and Tuesday, and then we're into the New Year's cookies.
And then things are changing, guys. These cookies have to stop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, things are going to change big time.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
Listen, we all are going to have that problem this year, even if it's just a selfie. You're going to take yourself a Christmas photo, right? And Nikki, I have what they say is the perfect technique to keep it from looking like you have a double chin, even if you have a double chin.
To make it keep from showing how much weight you have gained during this year.
That's right, Nikki. Are you familiar with the peach technique?
What's the peach technique?
The idea is that when you take a photo, that you need to pretend that you have a peach
under
between
your
neck and between your chin or whatever.
So you can have a flattering jawline.
That's right.
Interesting.
I'll tell you what. I'm on it.
Yeah. Is this how you're going to do this?
I'm going to start doing the peach technique.
They're like, wow, you really slimmed down in the jaw area.
Well, it's funny. There is an element of sometimes I'll see people and then you see them in a picture and you're like,
what is that?
How
does that change?
It's not a flattering picture and they don't really look like that. So what's the problem?
I assumed you don't even have to try that technique. You just edit the photo when you're done.
I don't have that kind of time.
You make the time to make the picture perfect. And this article, it's so sad, is full of people they're saying here, these must be using the technique because it's normally not so flattering.
But if you look at it's fair, they're
makes it very sharp.
They're showing you hey, if you look at some of their candids, but then you look at some of their modeling photographs or some of their Instagrams where they're really doing it.
Yeah.
They say how most people, when they get their photo taken, they straighten their head up and they actually pull their neck back. And what ends up happening is as you're pulling your head back on your neck, all of the skin that's underneath your chin is being pushed forward and it's giving you that appearance. Either they keep talking about how you look on a Zoom call, but,
sure.
But it gives that appearance. Whereas they're saying, hey, get in the habit of, if you're getting a photo taken and you don't want that to happen, peach technique.
So you want to have the camera know that there's two distinct surfaces because sometimes if you are not doing it the right way, you're right, it makes it look like one long, big, lumpy jaw, but you're supposed to make sure that it knows it to not run together so you look more slimmer, it looks more contoured.
Yeah, and it looks like it works.
So you lean slightly forward towards the camera and then bring your face forward to feel like you have a peach underneath your jaw.
Right, like a peach that you're trying to have a peach between your neck and your jaw.
This is good.
So I'll tell you what, I'm going to be spending all our time off just working on my peach technique.
To make the perfect picture. It looks nice now. You're doing it now, aren't you?
I'm doing it now.
You're doing
Can you
it now.
tell?
Yeah, I can. I
do
can
I
tell a
look
difference.
More chiseled?
Now, you also didn't shave today, though, so it all looks a little blurry over there.
Thanks for ratting me out.
Because you didn't shave.
I stood in the shower for a long time and then got out, and I was like,
Wait a minute, you forgot something.
Whatever.
It's fine. It's not wrong to not shave.
It's not right to not shave.
Depends on the person and what look you're going for.
And the circumstances. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's just me and Nikki. I got my Die Hard sweatshirt on. I got a cup of coffee. We're good.
You showed up. That's all I ask. That is all I ask.
Showed up. And let me tell you what. It's better than some morning show hosts.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the Riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Hey, does anybody know... is it worth it to get higher index lenses in your glasses? I don't know.
Are you still picking new ones out, or?
Yeah, you know what? I'm getting the same frames.
Oh, okay.
I do want to get some different frames, but I just decided why.
You don't want to pick new ones?
While we were sitting here, I was like, just order the stupid things. And I got an ad for it. So the ad worked. Like online, it was like, was any optical? And I was like, man, just order the glasses already.
But don't you want to spend time like with a new look in the new year? You don't want to pick a new set of frames?
No, I do, but I also want my glasses with a new prescription.
Sure.
So I just get these, and then next year we'll have this conversation again.
Okay. And you'll pick the same frames.
I don't see what the problem
and
is.
That's fine. You've got to look.
So, no, seriously, though, does anybody know? Like, I'm looking through these things. There's like Trivax impact resistant, polycarbonate impact resistant.
Is that for the lens or for the frame?
This is the lens index. It's for the lens, not the frame. So, which one should I get? I mean, Nikki, it's quote unquote included in the price if we go with the 1.5.
Sure.
But if I go up to let's say a 1.67, it's an additional $35, but it's a premium lens material.
So lens index is the number that describes how thick or thin your lenses are. A higher lens index is the thinner it becomes. So a higher prescription requires a higher index lens.
Yeah. Well,
do you have a higher or a lower one?
I don't. Like here's the problem.
So you need a lower index lens then.
Right. But what if I got a higher one because it's nicer?
I just don't think it's needed. It seems like based on your prescription.
Nikki, if I went from 1.5 to 1.6, here's what we're looking at, people.
Sure.
100% UV protection, lightweight, and here's what I love, super optical clarity. What does that mean?
So it looks like the lenses that are thinner and then stronger. So, yeah, I guess you're just going to want to research that.
Okay. Let's just get them.
It doesn't matter, does it? Just order them.
Let's get the nice ones.
Okay.
So, and then look at the standard lens tinting. We don't want that. No.
They say you should probably get the highest index because that's the thinnest, flattest, and most appealing lens look to it.
Okay. I definitely want. Last year I bought the blocks. It's that stuff that blocks blue light. Mm-hmm. That's not so bad.
It's already built in?
Yeah. I'm up for that. And this has been your Glasses Minute brought to you by the Riot. So
where every year Obi needs to pick his new glasses.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's just what he does.
If any of you guys are like super glasses smart, you should totally text me and give me some tips. And you're like, that's what an optometrist is for. No,
Who's going to that?
Here's the thing. I'm totally serious. I bought glasses a long time ago where I spent a ton of money and all this stuff.
From the optometrist?
Yeah. I don't have vision insurance. I get an exam once a year. And I spent all this money on these glasses and I hated them. I spent $30 on internet glasses and they're the best.
But when he goes to see the optometrist, once they realize he's not buying glasses on the lot, they don't want to work with you anymore. They're like, they'll just look at your eyes and that's it.
You know what? They were nice.
Yeah.
They were nice. They didn't.
They just wish that you'd probably buy glasses from them. That's why they got you in there in the first place.
Yeah. $500 for these glasses you don't like.
So much money. And then you hate them.
It's not that. They aren't that. You can go cheaper.
Sure.
But dang. Right? Am I right? Oops. Sorry.
Yes, you are. That's what everybody's saying. You're right.
It's fine.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I like hot dogs. I think they're good. I think people...
Are they good for you or full of good stuff? No one's answering those questions yet.
They're not. And you know what? We're not here to answer
it's not about
those
that.
questions, Nikki. But we are here to talk about the fine people in Vancouver that sell the hot dogs.
What type are they selling?
Well, here's the story. There is a guy. His name is Scully. At least that's what everybody calls him. And he runs a hot dog stand.
He does.
Yeah. And so he's got a guy who's one of his regulars who comes all the time. And one day he showed up and he said he looked 100 years old.
The customer who came up to the hot dog place?
Yeah. And he's like, man, what's going on? Like, you don't look good. Something's happening. And the guy's like, yeah, I've got kidney failure. I'm having all these troubles. And the hot dog vendor was like, hey, man, you can have one of my kidneys if I'm a match.
Really? And he was a match? Oh, I love that.
So he went and he's like, all right, well, here's how you get tested. He went and got tested. He was a match.
Oh, yay.
And he is giving him his kidney.
See, it's not just saying it, but he's actually going to do it. That's so nice.
I know. That's actually what I thought. Because, let's just say, like, I don't know where you frequent. You go to the same Starbucks, see the same barista, whatever. They're like, hey, I'll give you my kidney. And then it's like, well, I was just kidding.
Yeah, you wouldn't find always someone who would go through with it.
It's just something you say.
Dude, how Canadian is this? He comes out of the Canadian Tire, and that's what he noticed. That's where the hot dog stand was. And he noticed that his customer just looked so sick, and he was diabetic, and it triggered his kidneys to fail. So he had to have a donor, and that led to the interaction, and that led to him being a match.
Wow. So, successful surgery. And here's what's crazy. December 8th was the day that he saw the guy. He donated his kidney on the 14th.
Nice. Good job.
Interviewing Scully, he's just like, okay, I can't lift heavy items. I can't go back to work right away. But he is, after 48 hours, he's out of the hospital.
He's good.
He's doing his thing.
A lot of people don't realize, but if you have a kidney transplant, it's actually harder on the person donating the kidney than it is on the person receiving the kidney.
Yeah, because they start to feel better right away.
They feel better right away, and the surgery is just harder for the kidney person who's donating. So it is a big commitment, and they said it was a success, and the guy's body accepted the new organ, and it's a great story.
Man, I don't know. Oh, I don't know if I have it in me. I want to think I would.
I think you would in the moment.
Yeah, like thinking about it scares me, but, in the moment it would be different,
So
I suppose.
The person who donated his kidney, who runs the hot dog stuff, he said he's planning on encouraging more customers to join the donors list and to be able to give a gift of life if they can. And in exchange, if you do, he's offering a lifetime of free footlong hot dogs. From him. So I think that's nice.
The nice thing is that if you eat a lifetime supply of footlong hot dogs, he knows that investment is not going to take very many years.
No, actually, you're right. It might not be the best.
You know what I mean.
Don't overuse that gift he's given. You want to make sure that you can still have those.
Well, that is an awesome story.
Hey.
And it's very Canadian. He's so nice that he just gives his kidney.
And we don't see as many, I don't know. It's nice to see truly nice stories like this.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
What could you possibly be missing on the holiday scene this season? Festivus.
Oh, is that tomorrow-is?
Festivus is tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
So Festivus is and I quote, secular holiday celebrated December 23rd as an alternative to the pressures and commercialisms of the Christmas season. It was created by Daniel O'Keefe, the father of Dan O'Keefe, who wrote the Seinfeld episode from 1997 called The Strike.
But it is really just it's a created holiday. So
all holidays are just created.
No, I mean, like, I don't really know anybody who actually celebrates tomorrow, but are your hands raised? Do you know someone?
I do.
Is it you?
It's not.
It's someone else who really does celebrate it each year? Uh-huh. But are they just a Seinfeld fan?
Yes.
That's why.
I mean, they don't celebrate it as...
I'm talking like the dad of the Seinfeld writer, the one who actually had the belief in the day of Festivus.
Yeah.
Someone like that.
No, I don't know anybody like that. But I have a friend named Brad that celebrates Festivus.
What's he going to do tomorrow?
Well, I don't
do a dinner or something, or what do you do?
Last year he did, but this year, of course, you can't have anyone over or have any fun. So I don't even know if he's celebrating at all.
Over. You don't have to cut out the whole holiday.
So yeah, I mean, like last year he got a pole and had like some themed desserts and watched the episode from Seinfeld.
Well, that is fun, I guess.
Yeah, so that's how he celebrated. Now, in the show, there's the Festivus Pole, which is just a plain aluminum pole. You have Festivus Dinner. At dinner, you have the airing of grievances, where everyone gets an opportunity to say the things that have either, well, to quote, all the ways you've disappointed me this year. But I think this year we could just talk about disappointment in general.
I was going to say we don't have the time. Don't have the time tomorrow for that.
Then there's the feats of strength, and then I guess that wraps it up. That's when Festivus is over, when the feats of strength have ended.
Then Christmas Eve and then Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to wrap up the whole week.
There you go.
All right.
So Festivus is tomorrow, and if you're looking for something different this year, I mean, it is 2020 after all.
Is it too late to get the Festivus kit sent to you if there's one on Amazon?
You know what? I think you just make your own.
Well, I think you could just watch the Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, it's called The
probably
Strike.
Do it.
The Riot RadioU.
Apparently, not next year.
Mm-hmm.
Not the year after.
Mm-hmm.
Not the year after that.
Okay, I'm losing track now. What year? Just tell me the year.
2024.
Yeah.
It looks like Apple
prices are going down?
Yes, they're lowering prices.
They're going to finally do that then.
No. So apparently they are looking at an Apple car.
An Apple car?
They've
talked about that for a bit.
It's been rumored for a long time, but it would be a self-driving car.
Yeah.
It's known as Project Titan, they say. And they say that they have, by they, I'm talking Reuters, and Reuters says they have the inside info. None of this is coming officially from Apple.
But some of it comes from, like, if they do a patent for certain things.
Yes.
And some of that's just like pipe dreams, but some of it becomes a reality.
So they are saying that they have some kind of revolutionary battery technology.
For the car?
That is going to change the, electronic car market.
Not based on the phone sometimes, so... Maybe they put all their effort into this.
You're not putting that into the iPhone, huh?
I mean, it's better than it used to be, but come on.
I don't know. My iPhone 10, it was used, so it's like almost 3 years old at this point.
Still holding fine.
You know what? It's doing better than I thought it would. I plug it in my car, and I suppose if I didn't do that, I would probably be in trouble.
It's an easy change out on the battery.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's not hard at all.
Wow.
And it's not expensive.
Ask
Just
Dr. Nikki.
Change the battery, which is what they'll say when your car battery goes bad too in like 8 years.
Yeah. And then they'll take your battery and throw it in a landfill and look at how small your carbon footprint is.
You're not supposed to notice that for any of these battery things, okay? Don't say anything about that.
Okay. All right. You're right, Nikki.
A smart car from Apple would be nice, but it'd be way priced too much. They can't price things reasonably.
Remember the $550 headphones we were just discussing?
Does it come with free headphones and like a free iPad?
Now imagine the people that make those headphones designing a car.
I mean, the sky's the limit, right?
There it is.
What price?
There it is. I'm sure you'll be able to afford it.
It'd be worth looking at, but some of that technology is still a little too expensive for everybody out there.
Insane. That's probably why they need more years for the economy to really pick back up and me to get rich.
I'll tell you, 4 or 5 years, I still don't see us being able to want to invest in that type of car yet, but who knows?
Not if we're still doing this.
Well,
you and I are going to have to go become investment bankers.
We're going to have to figure something else out.
Which I'm not going to do.
Hey, we can go in halvesies, all right? Half the car to you, half the car to me.
Okay,
Split
so
it on days, every other day.
All right, so you drive it in, and then we just rotate weeks. So like the first week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is me.
Yeah.
And
the other car stays here, so we trade in and out.
Yeah,
and that's just a normal car.
Yeah, but listen, don't eat in it.
You don't want me to eat in it?
Yeah.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
The medical term for getting your stomach pumped is gastric lavage.